This actually happened, and no one was ready. They called it an ordinary Tuesday. No storms in the forecast. No breaking news alerts. No warnings from anyone important. Just another day people thought they would forget. But this day would become the one they never stopped talking about. At exactly 7:42 a.m., the city woke up like it always did. Buses growled to life. Shop owners lifted metal shutters. Kids laughed on their way to school. Office workers stared at their phones, already tired. Nothing felt different. Except one thing. The internet went silent. At first, nobody panicked. People assumed it was their phone network. Then the radios stopped. ATMs froze mid-transaction. Traffic lights blinked once and went dark. Within 10 minutes, the entire city realized something was wrong. And by the time the first siren wailed, it was already too late. In a small apartment on the third floor of an old building lived Daniel, a security technician who fixed cameras and alarm systems. He was halfway through tying his shoes when his phone lost signal. He checked the time. 7:52 a.m. 10 minutes later, his building shook. Not an explosion. Not an earthquake. Something worse. A deep, heavy vibration that felt like the ground itself had taken a breath and forgotten how to let it out. People rushed into the streets, confused and shouting. That's when they saw the smoke rising from the city center.
At the power station, a chain reaction had begun. A system failure no one had predicted. A backup that failed. Then another. Then everything. Within minutes, half the city lost power. Hospitals switched to generators. Airports froze. Trains stopped between stations. Elevators trapped people between floors. And no one knew why. By noon, rumors spread faster than facts. Some said it was a cyber attack. Others whispered about sabotage. A few claimed it was the beginning of something much bigger. Parents ran to schools. Workers abandoned offices. Police struggled to keep roads open. The city had never felt so loud. And so helpless. But the scariest part? It wasn't the darkness. It wasn't the panic. It wasn't even the smoke. It was the moment people realized help wasn't coming anytime soon. Because the systems they trusted had all failed together. Inside St. Mary's Hospital, nurses worked by flashlight. Doctors made life or death decisions without machines they depended on. In one room, a newborn cried under emergency lights while her mother whispered prayers she hadn't spoken in years. Across the city, Daniel joined a group of strangers trying to direct traffic at a busy intersection. No one had told them to do it. They just did, because when everything collapsed, people had two choices: run from the chaos, or become what the city needed. As night fell, the truth finally surfaced. It wasn't an attack. It wasn't terrorism. It wasn't even human error. It was something far more terrifying. A single software update triggered a failure in multiple systems that were never supposed to depend on each other. One tiny change. Millions of lives affected. By the next morning, power slowly returned. News channels came back on air. Officials gave speeches. Experts used complicated words to explain something simple. They had built a world that looked strong, but had never been tested under real pressure. And when the test came, no one was ready. Today, people still walk past the same streets, the same buildings, the same traffic lights. But those who lived through that day never see the city the same way again. Because they learned something the hard way. Disasters don't always arrive with explosions or warnings. Sometimes they arrive quietly. On an ordinary Tuesday. When everyone thinks nothing will happen. And that's the truth. This actually happened. And no one was ready. What if everything you trusted failed in a single moment? No warnings. No countdown. No time to prepare. On what seemed like an ordinary day, a chain of events unfolded that changed lives forever. Power vanished. Systems collapsed. panic spread. And in the middle of it all, ordinary people were forced to become heroes, because help wasn't coming. This isn't fiction. This isn't exaggeration. This actually happened. And no one was ready. Watch till the end to discover how one small moment triggered a disaster no one saw coming, and the lesson the world learned too late. Like and subscribe for more.